Welcome to another exciting edition to GroveCityHockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cut Shield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cut Shield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code GroveCityHockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today. Welcome to GCA Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is my co-host, as usual, Chris the Man Greco. How you doing, Chris?
All is well, man. You doing good?
Yeah. And on top of that, we have a very special guest today joining us from all the way down in Texas. We have Vince Freez. For those of you who don't know who Vince Freez is, he is the Team USA's Masters team captain. They went over to MIHA, Spain, and took home the gold. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but he's also the team owner, team founder of Labeda Freez, which just won NARCH Platinum 2 years in a row. So not only is that, but he's a phenomenal guy. And Vince, it's a pleasure to have you back on the pod.
Man, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. And hello, Chris. I don't think you were on last time I was on with Ben.
No. I think I started a few months ago. Yeah, cool. It hasn't been too long.
Welcome to the podcast life, my friend.
My man, appreciate you.
Yeah, so Chris and Chris reached out wanting to do a podcast on his own. I was looking for a co-host, and one thing led to another, and now we're working on this beast together.
I love it, man. Congrats on all the podcasts you've been doing and your growth too, man. The sport needs it.
Yeah, we're I think this will be somewhere in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even the mid 90s. I can't quite remember where I'm at. I need to upload a bunch more. I need to upload a bunch more to Spotify, and that'll give me the full number, because I know it's well past 75.
That's awesome.
So
very cool.
And each episode, and I think I still have like 5 or 6 or 7 in the queue that I haven't even finished editing yet. So a lot more content coming. We're looking to do at season 3 is coming up soon, which you're going to be a part of. We're looking at doing Tuesdays and Fridays, dropping content every week. We're going to do a MIHA specific episode. And then we're going to follow it up with a roller hockey throughout the world. So you're going to see content from Africa to Spain to Italy to France, Germany. I'm working on that. Australia.
Wow.
Coming up this Thursday.
How are you going to the time change alone is wild, right?
Yeah.
You got to think about the time change. I'm doing a podcast for our cold storage construction industry, and I have people from Germany and the 7-hour time change. And it's like, when do you want to do this? And they're like, earlier the better, like 7 a.m. my time. And then like that, like is 2:30, 3 o'clock your time. And that's going to be, it's challenging.
Yeah, it is. But yeah. And then on top of that, we have on Thursday this week, we are interviewing somebody from Hong Kong as well. So that's a 12-hour difference right there. Almost. Wow. 12-hour difference right there.
Cool.
So our Thursday, his Friday, it's gonna be phenomenal. So we're gonna get a chance to check in with the Asian Pacific area, representatives a little bit. So I mean, we're we're just trying to find ways to grow the pod and to grow the sport, and get information out there that not everybody gets a chance to see,
Sure.
especially in our main focused audience.
Sure.
So, but yeah, so tell us a little bit about how you've been, because the last time we talked, you had won Narch Pro, and then going into
Narch
this
Platinum.
season,
Yeah.
Stars Platinum. Sorry.
Yep. You're good.
It's like a mini
then-
pro.
Not
Yeah.
yet. We'll get there.
And then, did you? I believe you guys went down to tours, right?
Last year
Or this year?
or this year? Yeah. This year we did the major three. We did Narch, Tours, Narch, and State Wars.
Okay.
Yep. We did the big
And,
three.
Yeah. So how did I? So I don't remember off the top of my head how you guys did at tours, but I think you guys did fairly well, right?
And, we did really good in all three, man. Took a gold, a silver, and a bronze. And bronze, unfortunately, was Tours. Tours is great. I mean, we lit it up in round robin and rolled into playoffs. And I don't know if you heard, and this isn't an excuse by any means, but we should have just said no. But they had us play on the far right rink, and that was the rink that was all wet. And it was slippery, and it was the danger zone between the first 8 feet from the boards. And we agreed to play our semifinal game on that. We shouldn't have, especially with our game, right? Our game is speed and quickness and moving the puck fast. And we couldn't get anything rolling. And it just was a very weird game, weird vibe. And we lost that game 5-4. And it was a game we should have won 7-1, honestly. Right. I mean, it was one of those games. We really, really wanted to play Car Shield in the final that year. We played them in the round robin. And I think they won 2-1, and they scored a last second goal off our goalie skate from the goal line by the boards, like a fluke goal. And Car Shield ended up rolling the team. We lost to 5-4. They beat them 9-3 or something like that. And it's man, we would have really loved to play Car Shield. It's becoming a bit of a rivalry, us and them. And, unfortunately it didn't happen. We ran into, we got stuck. We got stuck at Tours, my guy.
Yeah. Well, and who's your goaltender at Tours?
Tours was Josh Henson.
Okay, cool. And then I think you made a little bit of a goal change, or goaltender change at Narch, right?
Yeah, we ended up going with Nick Wydock.
Yeah, Nicky Wydock from Blood and Feathers. He plays with that pro team.
Used to play for that pro team.
Oh, used to. So
sorry, fellas.
That's why Ken was a little
shaky.
Yeah, he was. We're gonna end the pod right here.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of used to play for that team people after some news I'm about to break. But anyways,
well, we're excited to hear that news. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit. So then you go to Narch, and you guys do phenomenal. You guys basically ran through everybody. I don't even think there was really a close game. I think if anything, you guys were up. 2-3 goals almost every game.
There was 2 mercies in the round robin, and every game. I feel like every game we pretty much handled business. I don't want to say it was easy, but we handled business, and the closest game we had was obviously Palma in the final. Anytime you play Palma, it's going to be a bloodbath between us and them. Bit of a rivalry there too, because they're really good and they're fast and they play like us. But Narch was a little bit different. I mean, if you watch the game back, Darren is a stud. He was nice enough to record the game and put it on YouTube. And if you look back at the game, we dominated that game pretty much 85% of it, and it should have been 6-0. It was 3-0 at one point. Nevin played out of his mind. Nevin is a hell of a goaltender. And if Nevin didn't play the way he played, that game would have been completely out of hand. And then they got 2 power play goals the last 2 minutes into the game. A couple weird power plays that they ended up getting at the end of the game with 3 minutes left. So they scored 2 goals in the power play, make it 3-2. And we just held them off and took it down.
Yeah. And then, so from Narch Platinum, you went down to State Wars in St. Louis, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri.
Yep.
Tell us how that event came out for you. It sounds like you guys took silver.
Yeah. And again, it was one of those things where we took care of business in round robin, and I think we ended up tying Car Shield in that game. 4-4, and that game was again intense back and forth. That game's always fun. But long story short, do we roll on to the final? We play Palma, and we're like, here we go again. And it was the complete opposite of Narch. They absolutely dominated the game on us, and we could not score on Nevin. Nevin was they won 4-0. We could not score. We couldn't generate anything. It was one of those weird games where like everything we shot, Nevin saved. Every bounce was their bounce. I mean, it was weird, and hats off to them. Dude, they're a hell of a team. I mean, they earned it. They deserve it. And Palma got one this summer. We got one this summer, and Car Shield got one this summer. Kind of how it should go.
Right. Yeah. And so now that that part of the roller season ended, but just before that, before your tours event, you were in Jaca, Spain, playing for Team USA. I was watching the game. We had to go to the mall, and I was literally watching you guys play Canada. Tell us a little bit about that. What was it like representing your country? And then not only that, and it's the first time you'd represented your country in quite some time. And then to be voted captain just before the event started, and you had a great group of guys. I mean,
it was special.
I can't for the life of me remember all of the guys, but you guys were loaded.
Yeah, it was arguably the most loaded Masters team on paper. It was an incredible time, and it was all the right guys, right? Everyone was extremely talented. It was all the right guys. And here's the deal: if you add up all the 38 and over players out there in the United States right now, we could have 2 Team USAs. I mean, you grab all the Car Shield, Missouri guys, JP's guys, and you grab the rest of us that are Texas to California to New York, and dude, you could have 2 USA teams. And last year it was mainly all the Missouri guys and the Car Shield guys going, and they took care of business and won. And Canada wasn't happy about it. They came this year correct with a very good team, and we knew we'd end up seeing them eventually in the playoffs at some point. And it was in the final. And first off, to answer your question, when you get to wear red, white, and blue, I mean, it's the coolest thing in the world. Representing your country, the fans, the people that are just watching and just love the game of roller hockey, and all the people in the other divisions cheering you on, and the other countries watching you and getting in the game. Like, there's not a better feeling than playing for your country, period. As far as the game with Canada, that final was fast, it was intense, and Andy Cripps played lights out in that game. I mean, I think he had a hat trick, and that's Cripps. I mean, Cripps couldn't score. Cripps could score 0 goals all round robin, and you put Cripps in a final, and Cripps will score 3 goals, and it'll be the nastiest 3 goals you ever see. And the kid's insane. He's an amazing hockey player. Skylar Hoare had but Skylar Hoare had an amazing tournament. I mean, he's playing at the pro level still. And Skylar is an absolute stud. And I didn't really know Skylar that well. I think I played with him years and years ago for the Palma Platinum team, before playing at the pro level, and playing with Skylar again and getting to know Skylar at the age of 38. And he is such a great guy. And you wouldn't think so, because he's so busy at the rink. He's coaching 21 teams for the OC Blades, and he's always so busy, and he always looks like he doesn't want to talk to you. But man, getting to know Skylar and his wife and his beautiful daughter in Spain. I mean, Jen and I had a great time hanging with them, and he's a stud. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you don't realize, what kind of individuals you guys are going to be bringing in together, because everybody plays so well individually, and then bringing that talent together to blend it, and then not only to make the run you guys did, but to go out on top, and represent USA, kind of like
Absolutely.
How all of us players who play here in the United States believe that we should be the ones winning every time. So
But dude, I mean, bottom line, Ben, shout out to all the guys. I mean, not just Crips and Skylar. I mean, dude, you know, I got my blood brothers that are playing on Labeda Freez on and off with Bryn and Jimmy McGrath, right? Yep. I mean, dude, Lemansky, he was returning from the year before winning it. Lemansky's a stud. You got Carmelo coming back. We had Marcus in net. We had Tosh coming from California. He was a newbie. Dude, let's just talk about Susko for a second, dude. JP Susko. My God, the guy's an animal. Yeah. So this guy plays goalie, a couple games in round robin. We give Marcus a couple starts in round robin, and Marcus plays a semifinal game, and he stood on his head. He played insane. We're leading up to the championship game, and Rob comes over to me. He's like, "Who's going to play goalie?" I'm like, "No. Who's playing goalie?" I go, "Dude, you're the coach, Rob. I love you, man. Who's playing?" You know, I got Chris. He's an assistant captain. I got Skylar. Bryn coming up to me like, "All right, what are we doing for goalie?" And all of a sudden, we all just kind of look around. We're like, "Dude, Susko's a big game guy. Like Susko's been here before. He's been here before. He's an absolute maniac in these games. It's Susko's turn. It's his game. Like he's the guy." And dude, watch the game again. Susko is a maniac. He played so good, and he just kind of like gave us the nod after the game. He's like, "Dude, don't ever doubt me, man." Like Susko's, yeah, dude. Susko was awesome.
And you had not only that, but then you had Spitzer, Marty Guads out there.
Oh, dude, Party too. Marty. Yeah, I mean, my God,
flying. I think
Marty.
His episode is still the #1 episode on GCH so far.
I love it, dude. Marty's amazing. I mean, you got Marty and Demansky back on D2, like all those guys. I mean, dude, the whole squad. I mean, absolutely incredible group of guys. And I love if we could all go back next year, but we don't. One, we don't know where it's going to be. Right. Two, with everyone's schedules, I don't know if I can go. Right. I mean, if I'm busy, things going on in my life, personally or business wise. I mean, it's a big commitment. You guys, like Chris, Ben, think about going for 10 days away from work, away from your jobs, families, all that. And it's one hockey game a day. Yeah. And then the rest of the day, you're spending time in this very small town where there's not a lot to do. So it's exhausting 10 days. It's incredible, don't get me wrong, but it's a very large commitment. Even financially too, even financially for a lot of the guys. So we were able to drum up some great sponsorships with an industry company, Kingspan Insulated Metal Panels. They, you know, we buy a lot of panels from them for our business Freez, and they made a great sponsorship donation to our team. And then my podcast and company Freez were able to also make some donations and sponsorships to help alleviate a lot of the costs for all three teams, both masters, legends, and veterans. So we're able to help out a lot with the cost, which is great. You know, it helps, let's just say it, man, it helps get a lot of the good players be like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah. Joaquin too. Dude, Joaquin Chavera, dude, shout out to that guy. I've never got to play roller hockey and walk ever. And after playing one tournament with him and getting to know Joaquin, the real Joaquin on the floor, on and off the floor, dude, amazing guy. I mean, everyone on this team was stand up, hands down. Yeah. USA.
Yeah. It's one thing when you have guys that you play against because you develop that rivalry or that hey, I'm going to play you like this because that's how I know how you play, you know, or X, Y, and Z with certain players. And then you get those players on the same team with you. It changes your whole outlook as to, okay, hey, you know, he can be kind of a, you know, like this person can be, you know, an ass on the rink, but once you get him off the rink, he's a pretty phenomenal guy. But at the same time, you're competing, you're competitors. You know, you look at it as, you know, hey, I'm giving it my best, you're giving it your best. And so it's pretty cool to see the other side of the coin, so to speak, you know, with getting to know your teammates.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, and sometimes you hate a guy playing against him, but then when he's on your team, it's like, God bless him being here.
Chris, that's Joaquin, man. I would, when I lived in California, I would play Monday nights at Corona. I'd play him, and I hate it. Like I would get into it with him all the time. I hated playing against him.
And then you're like, finally, I get him on my team. I'm going to deal with this.
Exactly. And then you fall in love with a guy. It's like, damn, I should have never been a dick to you.
Right? Oh, yeah. I've played against a few of those guys in my day.
So now, so with that, you win the gold against Canada, something that, not too many players get to do. Probably definitely a dream come true. Then you go and you have the run you did with the roller season, the big three with Tours, Narch, and State Wars. What's coming up for Labeda Freez? I hear there's some rumblings that you might not be able to go back to Narch Pro.
Narch Platinum, yeah. Darren's kicking us out of Platinum. He is. I think he is.
I was kind of hoping for a 3P, but hey, I mean, it's one of those things where, last time we talked, you were like, you were surprised you guys did as well as you did in the Narch Platinum, and then this year, it was kind of like a no-brainer by the way that the games were played.
For sure. So we, our program's expanding, and that's what I'm going to tell everyone today, and on your season 3. I'm excited to be a part of that. Thank you. So we're growing the organization. We're going to expand. So we are going to be entering the pro division. So Labeda Freez will have a pro team. At other tournaments also, we will have a platinum team. At tournaments, we'll have both a platinum and pro team. So we are going to expand to 2 teams. We are in talks about having more of like the single A gold or silver type team, and then 40 and over. Possibly we have a 30 and over team, and we'll do a 40 and over team as well. So, and that's it's all based on the tournament and what's what. So at Tours, we did a 30 and over team as well. We lost the final to Car Shield. That's a whole nother story, by the way. But anyways, we can get into that later. But we have so with that being said, I mean, the big announcement is we're going pro, and Darren's kind of the one that's kicking us into that, kicking us off the edge that we needed to go bungee jumping and just go for it. And we have such a great group of guys, and with the addition of Dean Moore and Kyle Novak, and dude, you haven't seen Kyle Novak play in a while. Holy cow. Yeah. Like the guy's a stud. But we just have a lot of really good talent that we need to move to pro. And we have a lot of really good talent back in Texas that is dying to get back playing platinum. See, 2 years ago, we had 3 or 4 people from Texas that were on our platinum team when we won the cup, and they didn't even make the team this year. So we have a lot of manpower to fill these teams and want to play for the team, and it's just going to give us an opportunity to grow and grow correct with the right group of guys, because we're not going to funnel in guys in and out, and we want culture people. We want people that see the vision, can appreciate the things that are being paid for them and being sponsored for them, and dude, these are my teal colors of my company, man. I want people to represent the name correct and be a good steward on and off the rink.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. It's one of those things where the last time that we had talked, I kind of got the sense that was the direction that the organization was going to be going. And then obviously with another phenomenal tournament at Narch, your hands now kind of being tied. But at the same time, if anybody can do it, it's you, with especially with the way that people respond to the way that you ask and treat them. You're like, hey, this is what I'm planning. You up for
sure.
it, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a lot of people to say yes.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going. We couldn't give up this year yet. We're going to go to Nashville for the NashG Cup too at the end of the month in September as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's State Wars. It's a State Wars event. So State Wars does an end of the year event in Nashville called NashG Cup. It's an adult only tournament. It's a Friday through Sunday. I think they try to start games later on Friday because they know people work, but it's at that awesome 2-rink outdoor facility with the steel mat floors. It's a phenomenal rink and great time of year to be in Nashville end of September. We got commitment from most of our guys. We're going, and it won't be the entire core of our team, but then again, like it's going to be a lot of good parts of the team that we're going to go and win the cup, and roll that momentum into next year.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, never heard of it before. That's cool. You guys still do. When you say, 40 and
No,
up?
adult is 18 and over. So there's adult divisions. You're gonna have your adult AAA, AA, single A, and maybe I don't know if they're doing like 30 and 40 and over. I think they are something like that. But 35 and over, 45 and over, I'm not sure how they're doing it. But we're doing the top adult division that they have available there. Rage Cats will be there. Road Earners are going to be there.
Yeah.
Probably not their full team, right?
Yeah.
But right, wrong, or indifferent, we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be in the same facility that they host the Wish Cup. So that's that's kind of how I just attribute to it. It's not necessarily the Wish Cup event, but it's a subsidiary of at that facility.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But
the city owns those two rinks, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So it's
league. Yeah.
Yeah,
league fees have got to be super cheap and everything.
Dude, it's amazing, and it's an incredible facility. The Wish Cup is there. That's another one that we're talking about doing. We're talking about doing the U.S. roller. We're talking about doing U.S. Roller Cup Winter Nationals in Hawaii. Go check out what that is all about. I don't know what the buzz about. I don't know what the buzz is on U.S. Roller Cup. I don't know who runs it. I don't know how they are. I mean, so.
Oh. Well,
go check out that too.
The gentleman's name is Jake. I did a podcast with him 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
So
I gotta check that out, man.
Yeah, check it out. He talks a lot about it. And then he actually has where he sets up like a college fund for college sponsorships or college scholarships for roller hockey players. So a lot of it is kind of geared towards that as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, his name is Jake. I'm thinking of Jake Simperman only because I just interviewed Jake probably a couple months ago with the new roller hockey documentary that's coming out that came out this summer.
Cool.
So that episode's on there as well. But yeah, it's Jake's. It's Jake something, but he's with it says U.S. Roller Cup on there on the episode.
Got it.
You're gonna know as soon as we get off.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna be like
for sure. Yeah.
Once I'm live, I always butcher it too, and it's like I know it in the back of my head, but I just for the life of me can't think of it at the moment.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
Yeah. That's showbiz.
That's right. So. But well, I've got to get ready I got to get cleaned up. I got to go grab the kids. We did this podcast way earlier than usual. I just got out of work. We jumped on. And,
love that, man. I love that for you, man.
Yeah. Now I got to go pick up the kids at grandma.
Get your shit. House. Get your shit together. No, man. You guys, I appreciate the both of you guys in doing this and keep up the great work. If you guys want to learn more about what we are doing. We're very hot and heavy on Instagram. So Labeda Freez, that's our handle. The page has grown like crazy. We got some really cool editing video and content out there of highlights of a lot of the tournaments and stuff. We're going to do some player profiles and stuff coming up on that as well. So follow that Instagram, spread the love on Labeda Freez if you guys can.
Definitely will.
Man, dude, that's all I got, man. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you coming on, man, taking time out of your day.
Well, that's good. That's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast with my man, Chris Greco and Vince Free from Labeda Freez.
That's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, alongside Chris Greco. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe on all our platforms on YouTube and on Spotify. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.